Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to The Mixer, the segment on this channel where I give you guys, all different kinds of information from all walks of life, cultural tidbits and science, animals, nature, geography, sports, traveling, all that kind of stuff. This is the single most pop culture oriented segment on this channel, always has been since the very beginning, and just in case you guys missed it, in my last vlog I was talking about my deepest and darkest fear, which is of course thalassophobia, which is an innate fear of the ocean, deep water, the sea, very large and deep bodies of water. And directly after that I played this game called Subnautica, which is about oceanic exploration, and it was pretty okay. I really enjoyed doing that video, although in an attempt to conquer my fear, I think I made things worse because at the very end something happened and it made me jump out of my skin. I'm not gonna spoil it. Go watch that video later, because it was pretty hair-raising. So anyway, I thought that this was going to be a good opportunity to go back and redo a very old video that I did on this channel before, probably a couple of years ago at this point, talking about, of course, the Mariana Trench, okay, which is the deepest oceanic trench on our planet. And within the Mariana Trench, we have this thing called the Challenger Deep, which is the lowest point known on planet Earth, and it's actually very scary. It is located in the western Pacific Ocean, about 200 kilometers or 124 miles east of the Mariana Islands, where of course it draws its name from. And funny enough, the name of this island, well, there are the Mariana Islands, which are called Las Marianas, so the Marianas in plural, and they are actually named after the Spanish Queen Mariana of Austria, who was the widow of Philip IV of Spain. And that's where the name comes from, and they are a part of this island arc that's formed on this overriding plate, that kind of overlooks the entire place there. And that is called the Mariana Plate. Literally everything there is named after this queen, and it's on the western side of the trench. Now, the thing is that this place here is very largely unexplored. Like I said in that video talking about my phobia, humans have explored very little of the world's oceans, despite a very good portion of these motorcycle bastards still being alive. Despite a very good portion of our oceans, what the hell? You see, this is what these bastards do to me. I forgot my script. Despite a very, very large portion of our planet being covered in water, we have explored very little of our oceans, which is very scary once you think about it, because we don't know what's down there. We really don't, man. And the very simple fact that there is this huge underwater trench that is just as unexplored as the rest of the surrounding bodies of water around it, to me is very frightening. And it is pitch dark down there. You cannot see anything, and the pressure is incredibly frighteningly strong, because I mean, if you dive down to the bottom of the ocean and you just keep going like on a free dive, you will eventually start to feel the pressure on your chest, in your body, and eventually it's gonna get colder. And if you keep going, you can obviously and will obviously die, so that's why the ocean scares me so much, especially the Mariana Trench. I think that there's a way for you to explore it in Subnautica, the game that I played, but it's still really freaking frightening, man. I don't know, but obviously there has been very little footage and very few pictures taken down there, it's really scary. If by chance, because there have been a few expeditions down there, if by chance I can find something, on the internet, any video or footage of people down there recording, I will insert it here now before I move on.
Beginning exploration of the bottom.
Okay, well, hopefully I was able to find something and insert it there, or else this is gonna be one hell of an awkward transition, eh? Okay, then. So a little bit more about the physical properties? the physical properties of the Mariana Trench itself, okay? So it measures right now, as the last time that researchers went down there and calculated, however the hell they did this, I don't know, but they do. They're the scientists here, I'm just a YouTuber, okay? It measures 2,550 kilometers in length, okay? Which is 1,580 miles in length, right? And also 69 kilometers in width, which comes down to 43 miles in width, okay? So it's actually pretty damn big. The maximum known depth right now, you know, there's actually some unrepeated measurements. Right now, it is widely accepted that the lowest point, which is the Challenger Deep, is 36,037 feet deep, okay? Which comes down to 10,984 meters deep, right? And it's actually really scary because, oh yeah, also apparently it's 6.825 miles at the southern end, you know. So what exactly is this miles? I guess maybe it's how the width it is. It doesn't actually specify here, you know. And this is where the Challenger Deep is, you know. However, there are also some unrepeated measurements, you know, and sometimes they actually go there and measure it again, or it's just like unreported. So there is also an estimation that maybe, just maybe, the actual depth is 36,201 feet, okay, which comes down to 11,034 meters, okay. So that's actually kind of like, no matter how you slice it, it's very scary, man. It's very deep. Just to give you an idea, if Mount Everest were placed into the trench, you know, its peak would, the peak of Mount Everest would still be underwater by about 2 kilometers or 1.2 miles. That is to give you an idea. The highest point, the highest mountain on the planet, in the lowest point on the planet would still be underwater by about 2 kilometers. Let that sink in for a second. Now, the thing is that at the bottom of the trench, there is this water column, right, that exerts a pressure of, and this is just incredibly horrifying, 15,750 psi, okay, which is would be about 1,086 bars, right, which is actually more than 1,071 times the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level. So just to give you a small idea, if you don't understand what psi means, well, you're gonna get crushed alive. If you would, let's say, hypothetically teleport it into the Mariana Trench right now, right there, smack dab in the middle of the Challenger Deep, you would literally just like stop existing in the blink of an eye, man. It's like, that would be you in the middle of the trench. You would just be like, I don't think you would even feel it. It would be the quickest and most painful and at the same time most painless death possible, man. Because that is a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure, man. Maybe like Mount Everest itself coming down on you. Because like, man, I'm not gonna forget that, man. Freaking Mount Everest in the bottom of this thing is still... Now, at this pressure, the density of the water is increased by 4.96%, you know? And at this point, it's just a little bit too dense for human beings, dude. Just a little bit. I would personally stay away from a place that's this dense, you know? And the temperature at the bottom is estimated to be between 34 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 to 4 degrees Celsius. And, okay, so the temperature itself doesn't seem too bad, you know? I mean, this is probably like a hot day where some of you guys live, you know? But think about the pressure, man. Over 15 kPa. That is going to kill you instantly, you know. I think that the pressure itself and the sheer darkness would be enough to give me anxiety, you know. If I were to be dropped in the Mariana Trench and not be able to die, like I would be invincible and vulnerable and couldn't succumb to the effects of the temperature, you know, the pressure, I would still not go. I would probably have a panic attack and die. I would be, even though I could be literally undieable, I would die, you know, because it's too much, man. And this other thing that I actually want to talk to you guys now is actually the interesting thing that I think is the most pertinent about the trench and the title of the video itself, right? What lives there. So I'm going to be talking about life there in the trench. Believe it or not, despite all of these horrendous conditions, there is life down there. Not exactly like a sprawling, thriving metropolis, you know, like a fully functional ecosystem, but there is still life down there. And I'm going to read for you guys a little bit now about what it's like, you know. So there was an expedition conducted back in 1960 where they did find a few things, you know, and there were a few large creatures living at the bottom, you know, of the trench, you know, like a flatfish, for example, that was about 30 centimeters or 12 inches long. So that was also pretty impressive as well, given the high pressure, you know. And then there was also some shrimps, but shrimps live pretty much everywhere in the ocean, you know. There are probably shrimps in my damn toilet. Those damn things are everywhere, you know. But And aside from that, you know, there was also this thing, there are like these kinds of weird oozing living organisms down there as well, you know, and there are people who have seen sea cucumbers as well, you know, so very small kind of things. It's almost like you're living Bikini Bottom, you know, with all the SpongeBob characters and all that, you know. Then there was a second expedition that collected mud, you know, from the seabed. I don't really know why, but there were organisms that were living, you know, in these samples, so microscopic of course, but they were still alive, you know. So back in 2011, you know, they went and deployed some untethered landers with drop cams to try and document some new species, and there were some new discoveries as well, you know. Now we had this thing called this gigantic single-celled foraminiferans that were about 10 centimeters or 4 inches big, you know, and they belong to the class of Monothalamia, you know, so essentially sea sponges, you know, really big sea sponges down there. Sea sponges are normally a bit smaller, you know, but now they found some really big ones. 10 centimeters is huge for a damn sea sponge, man, you know. You guys are gonna see in a little bit when I put the photos here. So they are noteworthy for their size, abundance on the seafloor. There were just way too many sponges down there, you know. Then in 2014, this new species of snailfish was discovered at a depth of 26,722 feet or 8,145 meters for those of you who live outside of the US, you know. And this actually broke the record for the previous deepest fish that was found, you know, and recorded on video. And then they also found these huge amphipods, you know, known as supergiants, and this is where the deep sea gigantism theory was, you know, theorized here. The theory was theorized. Wow, the deep sea gigantism theory was put into play, you know. In case you guys don't know, deep sea gigantism is this phenomena where certain species, you know, in deeper water grow larger than their shallow water counterparts, you know. This can be because of, you know, colder temperature, food scarcity, you know, reduced predation pressure, increased dissolved oxygen pressure, concentrations, not pressure. So a lot of things can contribute to deep sea gigantism, you know. Oh God, somebody set fire to something. I can smell smoke coming in. And of course, the most popular example is the giant squid, you know, which a lot of people don't know if actually exists, but I think it does, because I mean, dude, it's freaking... You don't know what's in the ocean, man, you know, you really don't know. Back in 2017, there was this unidentified type of snailfish, again, that was recorded now at 26,800 feet, a little bit deeper than that other one, you know, and this comes out to 8,178 meters, okay? So there are a few kinds of fauna down there. There is marine life, but of course it's very, very scarce, you know. It's not like there's an entire neighborhood like in Shark Tale, Finding Nemo kind of thing, you know. But still, there is life down there, and I personally think this is fascinating because this is a place where you cannot imagine, even fathom there existing anything at all, you know, to thrive. So I'm gonna show you guys now some photos of the creatures that I mentioned and maybe a few others as well. Whatever I insert, it might be a little jarring because some of them are scary. I did research it beforehand and some of these things are scary to look at, man. But let's take a look now at some of the species found in the Mariana Trench. Yeah, dude, pretty damn frightening, eh? It's pretty scary, some of these things. I would never go into this neighborhood. This is a bad neighborhood for me, you know? And look at that, the sun is going away right when I need it the most. It just vanishes. It's like the Avatar, The Last Airbender. But anyways, so believe it or not, despite this place being so inhospitable for humans and a very, very largely untouched environment by researchers, there is still pollution down there, you know, believe it or not. And it's actually kind of sad because a research expedition looked into the chemical makeup of the crustacean scavengers collected from, you know, a certain tens of thousands of meters within the trench, you know. And within the organisms, they found very, very, very high levels of PCBs, you know, which is a chemical toxin banned in the 70s for its environmental harm. And it was actually concentrated at all the depths within the sediment of the trench. And they actually found that certain amphipods ingest the microplastics, with 100% of them having at least one piece of synthetic material in their stomach, you know. So that's obviously very damaging to the environment and the animals there. So that actually is a cause for alarm. And then as recently as 2019, somebody reported finding a plastic bag and even candy wrappers at the bottom of the trench, you know, which is freaking insane how that can sink to such a degree, you know. And then that same year, Scientific American, you know, they actually reported carbon-14 from nuclear bomb testing that was found in the bodies of aquatic animals within the trench, you know. So yes, there is also a possible nuclear waste disposal site, you know, in the trench itself. So that to me is really sad. That's just like a lack of environmental awareness out the wazoo, man, you know. But hopefully, the Mariana Trench itself was, you know, it was proposed as a site for this back in '72, but hopefully it's reduced a little bit, you know, because it's hard, man. You can't mess with nature like this, you know. I mean, the effects of these nuclear waste disposals, you know, it's actually pretty unpredictable. But for the safety of long-term disposal of nuclears within the hydropelagic ecosystem could very well be detrimental to... clearly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to read stuff and sound fancy, but it's used as a nuclear waste site, okay, and it shouldn't be, and that's kind of the moral of the story here. And I think that's it, guys. I think I have made this video interesting enough for you guys. You know, I tried to read directly from the source and memorize it, but there are some things that are a little bit difficult, you know. It is an oceanic topic, so it's hard for me, you know. I don't know too much about the ocean. I do love it. I have said this before. I'm a very big fan of the ocean. I'm just very scared of it sometimes, you know. And that's it. That's it, man. I guess that's all I can say about that, you know. If you happen to find this video interesting, then go and watch my Subnautica playthrough right after this one, you know. See me exploring the ocean, you know, starting off in the shallows and gradually going deeper and deeper until I find something unsettling and big. No spoilers, just go and watch it later, okay? And if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, might as well hit the notification bell too so you can know exactly what time I upload, eh? This one got a little long, but hopefully it was educational and informative for you guys and you liked it, okay? And that's all I could ask for as a content creator. And this is Chazzy. Yes, did I say my outro? Yeah, subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day, this and that. Yeah, I think I said that, you know? So yes, that's it. This is Chazzy, signing out for now, and as, okay, for real, did I do my outro? I don't know. Can I do it again? Do you guys mind if I do it again? Okay, if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day, and while you're at it, notification bell so you know exactly what time I upload, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I can go. This is Chazzy, signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen. I am getting old and forgetful.